everybody all doing? I hope you guys are all doing good. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so sorry that we're starting the stream later than usual today. I was in the restroom just before the stream started. Yeah. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. So today we're actually going to be continuing on with Vtuber Connect. We're actually going to finish up the game today. We are going to finish up today's game, which is Vtuber Connect. Yeah. So we're finishing it up. We're finishing up the story. We're pretty much finishing up everything. Yeah. Yes, hi Phantom. Thank you guys all so much for waiting. I'm so sorry, everybody. I am so sorry. Also, fine. Thank you so much for the shout out. Let me give you a shout out. Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. All right. So with that being said, let me give you guys a shout out real quick, and then we'll get started with today's stream. All right. I am so sorry for starting the stream really late. I was in the restroom today. Yeah. I had to go to the restroom just before the stream started. All right. So, just as a reminder, just as a heads up for those of you who are new to B2B Connect, this does contain mature themes. I am going to post up the warning as with yesterday's stream. So I'm gonna post up the warning really quick. So thank you so much, Phantom, for stopping by. Thank you. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Alright, so let me post up the warning in the pinned comment and then we will get started. Okay. But yes, this game does contain mature themes. Please do be aware. Alright. So yeah, with that being said, let's get started, shall we? Alright, we're gonna start VTuber Connect. So where were we? We're gonna start off. Alright, so the sounds of heavy armor, clashing steel, and furious button mashing fill the air. The girl in front of me is deeply focused, rhythmatically bobbing her head to match with her character's actions. This is the final boss of the video game she's been trudging through for over 50 hours of in-game time. Wait. Hold on, hold on. Actually, let's load the game of where we were. Okay, there we were. Alright, so when I open my eyes, I'm greeted by the brightness of a sun long passing down. I feel a bit sick as I turn my head to locate my phone, realizing that I didn't get much sleep. I immediately recall the events of the night prior, and I am once again unable to contain my thoughts. The feeling in my chest has grown to be almost crippling. The intense aching of a fresh inspiration overwhelms any other sensations I'm feeling. It's already noon. How many hours of sleep did I get? I still have so much time before Kagurasaka contacts me. I don't even feel like eating. Maybe I can wait until tonight and eat with Kagurasaka. I'm sure we have a lot of things to talk about. I look at my phone at Kagurasaka's contact. No, I shouldn't. I just just have to wait until tonight. I put my phone back down and start daydreaming to pass the time. I go through scenarios where I'm seen as Mana's partner, no matter how impossible they are. Maybe Mana mentions that there's someone that she's been seeing, and everyone starts getting jealous. Maybe some chat logs are leaked when she sends me suggested messages. Maybe I'm out with Kagezaka and I hear other people talking about how amazing Mana is. This continue on for hours. Every hour that passed just served to indulge in my own thoughts and strengthen the feelings I had. My heart felt like it would jump out of my chest every time my phone would get any notification. The subsequent disappointment of at seeing that it wasn't from Kaguya would feel equally as powerful. Eventually, the message from Kaguya came at around the time when the sun was starting to set. Can you meet me at the beach in a bit? Like in 30 minutes? I take deep breaths to calm myself as I come to terms that this isn't a dream. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you soon. Wait, 30 minutes? I still need to take a shower and change clothes. I rushed through all of my long overdue task of freshening up for the day and headed to the beach. It doesn't take long for the shore, orange with the warm glow of the sun to enter my vision. Despite not having much time to prepare, I'd arrived 5 minutes earlier than the agreed upon time. I can feel my anticipation rising as I approach the shore. I step onto the sand and start looking for any sight of Kaguyazaka. Eventually, I catch sight of a familiar figure looking out at the ocean. The rush of emotions from seeing Kaguyazaka is unlike anything I felt before from being with her. I'm seeing her in a completely different light than before. She turns to me when she notices my presence. She looks she looks even worse than usual. Was it because I found out about her secret? You look like you didn't get any sleep at all. That's what I should be saying. Are you okay? Never been better. Kaguyazaka returns a weak smile, but I can see her visibly trembling. Her expression shifts to a more fearful, pained look. What's with that expression? I didn't necessarily expect her to be ecstatic that her secret's out. But if she trusts me to keep to myself, then isn't it better than she has someone that she can talk about her secret with? Kaguyazaka just silently stands there, her eyes occasionally shifting to me. Does she have something that she wants to say? Maybe I could ease up the mood so that she can calm down. So, Yamana, eh? How was that sure was a surprise. I never would have guessed. Makoto's expression just becomes more pained and terrified. Am I making it worse? Is it because she thinks it's a bad thing? Isn't it a good thing that I know that she's this amazing person. You're pretty amazing though. Like you're this huge VTuber that inspires so many people. No, that's nuts. It's true. I was thinking that you're just this negative person, but you managed to keep positive and smile through as Mana. Stop. You mentioned that your goal was to become a strong, beautiful, and happy person. I think as Mana, you've shown that you're on all those. Stop it! I flinch at Kaguya-zaka's outburst. This is the first time I've heard her shout like that. Stop it! Please! Just stop! I'm not any of that. I'm taken aback at her reaction as she looks more pained than I've ever seen her before. What do you mean? You really don't get it, do you? Say, do you remember all the conversations we've had about Mana or just about identity in general? The realization hits me. The conversation we had when we first met, the one at the aquarium, everyone we had about VTubers, they are all related to her experiences as Mana. It's so obvious. What the heck have I been thinking about for this past day? I told you before, more than anything, I wish to become the person that Mana's identity embodies. Someone who has the strength to overcome any hardship with a smile. Someone who is selfless and beautiful. Someone who is happy. When I become Mana, that's why I tend to try and reinvent myself into that kind of person. That's where her identity has come to embody. But that's not actually who I am deep inside. I'm just hiding everything when I become Mana. Isn't that so contradictory? I strive for a certain identity, and when people start to see me as that, I start to feel guilty. There's nothing to blame on myself. I'm basically lying by hiding everything. But if you're the one behind the actions of Mana when she embodies those values, then aren't you embodying them yourself? You're still the same person, no? How different could you be from the Mana on screen? Ru- You're really gonna make me say it, aren't you? What do you mean? Have you figured it out already? Do you think I make jokes about suffering and existential dread just for fun? Huh? That's just my way of coping. It's funny, isn't it? Most people would want to be in the position I'm in with B2B. There are people who work so hard but never get to catch a glimpse of what's it like to be at the top. So tell me, why am I not happy? I'm sure if everybody saw me, they'd be disgusted. Maybe they would want to laugh at me. Maybe they would even want me to disappear. Honestly, I wish it would be that way. Aren't you angry? You put VTubers on a pedestal, but now the one that you idolize turns out to be me. But now the one that you idolize the most turns out to be me. Someone who is selfish, hypocritical, repulsive, and broken as I am. But you're not. No, 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 no. You don't know anything about me. You don't understand anything about me. Even before I became a VTuber, I've always hated myself. I've always hated how weak and selfish I am and how I always hurt others. I hate how I'm always tired. I hate how I can only think negatively. hate how I'm always selfishly involved with people knowing that I'll just hurt them. I hate how my very existence just brings suffering to others. B2B was a way I could fix all that. So I fresh and trying to become the person I wanted to be while also trying to bring happiness to others. And B2B became one of my few happinesses in this world. I wish that's all it was, but there's so much more to it that's brought suffering. That's brought me suffering. Everybody believes I'm this amazing person when in reality, I'm often crying myself to sleep at how pathetic I am. Even as a VTuber, I just end up hurting people. I selfishly involved myself with another VTuber and ended up just causing them suffering. Why? Why was it me? Why did it make it big and not her? She's so much more amazing than me. And every single day, I have to work myself to meet the expectations of Bada. Communicating with artists, planning out schedules, creating thumbnails, editing videos, rehearsing songs, meeting deadlines, dealing with issues like copyright, on top of going to school on my own time. Not to mention having to deal with hate messages, people being overbearing, not knowing the intentions of anybody that wants to talk to you, having to watch everything you say on stream, always trying to worry about my viewer subscriber numbers, people trying to impersonate me, always being insecure if my performance is good enough, or if I'm living up to expectations. Every little mistake weighing on my mind for the longest time. Do you have any idea of what kind of things people say about me? No matter what I do, there are always people who are dissatisfied. There will always be people who say the cruelest things. I take a break? Wow, Mana must not care about her viewers. I stream more? Okay. Oh, I'm going to have every action misinterpreted or psychoanalyzed by obsessed people. Like I know I messed up. I know. Why can't some people just be nice? Like, just leave me alone. I've had no time to indulge myself in the things that I want to do on my own time. I have no time to play the games I want to play. No time to give to the people that I want to give to in my personal life. Even if I had time, I don't even know if I could find it in myself to do any of those things. Anytime I do get to myself, I just spend in bed, unable to find the motivation to do anything. It's not uncommon for me to find myself staring at my computer screen with a load of work piled up and for me to just start crying. You know how my anniversary trip is coming up? I've been spending my time on trying to find a solution to my issues, but wallowing in despair instead of working on any of it. And now I have so much piled up that I haven't even started on. I'm just so tired of it all. It ends up reflecting in my attitude, and I just end up lashing at people or come off as uninterested or negative, which makes me hate myself even more. Why? Why am I like this? Why? I don't understand. Why am I like this? I just stand there, unable to say anything. When I didn't even know anything about what she's saying. This is how she's felt the entire time? How could I have been how could I have been so dumb? She's been giving hints at it the entire time I've been talking to her. Seeing Kaguyazaga agonizing like this is too much. Please, don't go on. That's not even the end of it. Do you know why I've been interacting with you? It's because I wanted to see how someone who liked Mana would see me. Because I'm Mana, and she's so loved. Surely this broken part of myself can also be loved, right? Also, Jake Sia, thank you so much for becoming a Cookie Buddy. Welcome to Cookie Buddy Nation. Let me give you a shout out. Welcome, welcome. All right, let me give you a follow as well. Welcome, welcome to Cookie Buddy Nation. Thank you so much for the follow, and thank you for becoming a member of the Cookie Buddy Nation. See, isn't that so pathetic? I got you involved with such a stupid reason, even knowing you would just get hurt in the end. Look at how everything's turned out. This is my punishment for being so stupid and selfish. How could someone like me be loved? I can't find the words to say. I want to say that what Kaguya-saka said isn't true. Of course she can be loved. But what about my own experiences? Why did I suddenly start getting obsessed with Kaguya-saka after finding out she was Mana? They're the same people, aren't they? But Kaguya-saka is a side of herself that she doesn't want to show to people. Is this the side that I care less about than Mana? I definitely felt something for Kaguya-saka before finding out. But now it's just mixed with my infatuation for Mana. How am I able to understand what I felt? Is Kaguya-saka right that I just started liking her because of her status as Mana? Look at me, just reacting to you selfishly like this about my own issues. I didn't want you to know, because I was afraid you would come to hate me after finding out how pathetic the person behind Mana is. But I let myself become too indulgent in this temporary happiness. I got careless. No, this shouldn't have even happened in the first place. I never should have been selfish and involved you. Let's have this let's have this be my last act of selfishness towards you. From now on, I won't involve myself with you anymore. My heart sings. How could that be for the best? How could that be what I would want? What? That's not. This is for the best. I know I've already hurt you. I don't want you to continue being hurt, and I don't want to continue interacting with you, knowing that I'm hurting you. How? How could this be for the best? I don't think any of those things about you. I didn't you mention in one of our previous conversations about not feeling like you're understood? You might think that I'm wrong about what I've just said, but I don't think you'll ever come to understand what I've been through and what I am going through. That hits me like a sledgehammer. I've just been grasping at whatever I can find in myself to try and say to Kaguya-saka to fix things, but never once understood what she was going through, nor did I even try to understand what she was going through. I was only thinking about myself and how could I gain from Kaguya-saka being Mana. How pathetic am I? Kaguya-saka's eyes widen as she realizes the impact of what she said. Why do I keep doing this? sorry. I'm just sorry. And goodbye. Kagurizaka turns and starts running. I reach my hand towards her in a futile attempt to try and bring her back. I can't bring it in myself to call out for her, to tell her that she's wrong. Because maybe she wasn't. How could I know? I didn't know anything about her. Even if I did understand her, what am I supposed to say? I can't just say be happy, and that would be the end of that. How is someone like me supposed to help her out of her depression? Am I supposed to just tell her that it'll get better as a VTuber? That's just a lie, isn't it? I can't just tell her I'm here for you. It'll be alright. How conceited is that coming from someone who didn't make any efforts to understand her? And what can I even do? And telling her, you're not the awful person you think you are. Does that mean anything coming from me? All I could do was watch as Kagiyazaka went out of sight. I continued standing on the beach for what felt like hours. What have I been doing? Did I really think I could have become someone of value just because I knew about Mana's identity? Why am I like this? I let myself become obsessed and didn't think at all about what Kagiyazaka was going through. Even now, I'm still having thoughts about my own personal gain. Kagiyazaka just told me about how she's suffering, and the first thoughts that came to me are still ones about how my value as a human could be realized. So pathetic. I didn't know what Kagiyazaka was going through. If only I had paid attention to all of our conversations. Even then, how could I even help her? There's nothing I can do on my own. I hate how worthless I am. Kagiyazaka has helped me out in the past through VTubing, and I can do nothing for her in return. All I did was make everything worse. I knew what was going to happen, and I still pressed that doorbell. I even asked if she was Mana. It would have been better if I hadn't known. All I've done is cause her grief because of my selfishness. I fell into the exact same trap that I shouldn't have. My view of Kaguya-zaka completely changed, and I started thinking about her differently. I pushed through my own expectations onto her. I pushed my own identity of Mana onto her, not realizing that it was just causing her pain. I threw my phone across my room in anger. Even now, even now, I'm still having those disgusting thoughts. That I still have a chance at Kaguya-zaka so that I can validate my own worth. I'm still prioritizing my own selfish wishes instead of thinking about what's best for Kaguya-zaka. Maybe she's right. Someone like me, who's only thinking of using her to make myself feel better, doesn't deserve to be with her. The overwhelming heartache that I have isn't weakening in the slightest. I start clenching my chest in a fertile attempt to ease the pain. These feelings I have only serve to fuel the guilt that's built up. Why am I still feeling like this? This isn't right. This isn't because I actually love her. This is only because I figured out she was Mana. Because I suddenly thought I have a chance to be validated. I didn't know Mana. I only became obsessed with her with the side that showed on the screen without ever having come to an understanding of who she is as a person. How could I even think that this would turn into a relationship? It's just me pressing my own feelings and insecurities onto someone without thinking about the give and take of both people. Why am I even thinking that I ever had a chance in the first place? How could Zaka said it herself? She wanted to interact with me so that she could see if she could be loved for herself. It didn't have to be me in particular. It could have been any of the other hundreds of thousands of mono fans out there. It's just like before. Nobody's ever going to voluntarily interact with someone like me just for me. They shouldn't. Not when I'm someone who just thinks about himself. Even still, my thoughts keep trailing back to Kaguya-zaka. It keeps telling me to go back to her so I can fulfill my conceited fantasies. Why? Why am I like this? Get out of my head! Get out of my head! I slammed my forehead against the floor of my room. The pain of those impact rings against my head. But I can't focus on it in my current state. I wish I could just disappear. My thoughts are interrupted as the door swings open and a tall female figure steps in. Shoma! You're in here, aren't you? Why aren't you picking up your phone? I've been trying to call. She stops as soon as she sees me on the floor. Yokone? My sister rushes over and crouches down in front of me. What happened? You look terrible. It's nothing. Aside from worrying you, I was a bit occupied with something. I attempt to stand up, but Yoko then grabs me by my shoulders and stops me. Shoma, there's no way that this is just nothing. I'm not just going to ignore the state you're in. Someone like me isn't worth your concern. I'm just a terrible person with nothing to offer. What are you saying? We're family. I wasn't going to be concerned about you. I'm not expecting you to have offered me anything in return either. And I'm the one who determines who's worth my concern. I'm determined that you're a wonderful person that offer me so many joys in life that, that are that offer so many joys in life and are worth my concern. So please, don't say that. But you're not a burden to me, Shoma. And even if you were, then that would be okay. I want you to burden me if it helps you. So please, rely on me, bother me, burden me, without feeling like you have to offer anything in return. Your wonderful existence is enough for me. Yokone pulls me into an embrace. I don't know what you've been through, and I won't force you to tell me. Please, let me just do this. Let me be here for you. The warmth of my sister's embrace overwhelms me with emotion. I'm unable to find an energy to keep my composure as I rest my head on Yokone's shoulder. I could see the tears starting to blur my vision. Take as much time as you need. I won't go away. Is this really okay? I don't know if this is right. Or what should I be thinking, but I don't care. want to stay here. Right in this moment. So I'm gonna go hydrate. Hold on, hold on. Alright, I'm hydrated, buddy. Are you feeling a bit better now? Yeah, thanks. Can I share what happened? Dokude smiles and starts rubbing my head. Yeah. Draco, thank you so much for coming up with the Cookie Buddy Nation. Welcome on board. Welcome on board. Thank you so much. So right now we are doing a voiceover practice. I'm right now practicing voice acting. I'm playing. So right now, what we're currently doing is we're practicing voice acting. Yeah. We're currently practicing voice acting. So that's what we're doing right now. But yeah, hi Draco, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. Welcome. So we're actually currently reading a story. We're currently doing like a visual novel. So we are currently reading a visual novel. Yeah, it's a very interesting visual novel. This is a VTuber visual novel. Yeah. It is. It is a very interesting visual novel. All right. So let's actually read this. All right. Of course you are, you dummy. You haven't eaten yet, have you? Let's head to the cafe down the street. We can talk while you're eating. I just noticed my acute hunger amidst the ocean of others. Of other feelings. Guess I haven't eaten anything today. Okay. Wash some water on your face first, then we can go. Wait. Hold on, hold on. Wait. So the value of 42? Doesn't that equal 42? After a trip to the washroom, I head to a local cafe with Yokonet. That's what happened, huh? I silently eat my food as Yokonet sits and dots over my experiences with Kaguya-zaka. Oh, that was a cookie sneeze. That was definitely a cookie sneeze, chat. I don't know. Maybe it's for the best. Best for who? Would either you truly be happy with this result? What about what you want? Do you want to keep her in your life? Of course I do. But I can't do anything for her. I'll just end up burdening her. I'll just end up making things even more painful for her. Yoko then lets out a sigh while smiling at me. You know, Shoma, we hurt others just by existing, whether we like it or not. I've hurt plenty of people in the past. It hurts me even more so when it's someone that I deeply care about. People have hurt me as well, whether they meant to or not. We've hurt each other plenty of times growing up, haven't we? Yeah, I remember what I received from you whenever I would take your food. Hey, that was when we were kids, and you know I wasn't talking about harm. We had a fair share of fights. Once we initially thought we wouldn't ever talk to each other again. You know what? Despite all the harm we caused each other, I never once regretted having you in my life. The memories I made, the experiences I've had, all the feelings we shared, this relationship we built, all of that makes me think it's all worth it. Do you think the experiences you've had with Kaguya the past few days are all for nothing? Of course not. Then I think it's okay for you two to keep hurting each other. Then that just means that you'll have more memories. You two would just have to keep building happy memories and experiences to make it all worth it. But that's just idealistic. We can't just expect happy moments to just come. Then you two will just have to grab a hold of those moments yourselves. Live, have fun, get huge, get hurt, be confused, get lost, cry, laugh, cherish all these moments. But I'm honestly nothing compared to Kaguya. I can't do anything for her. And she said it herself. She only associated with me for her own goals. She would never want someone like me. Trust me, I'm sure you've offered more to her than you can realize. And even if you haven't, do you really need to feel to try and offer something to her? Is it enough for you? Is it enough for you two to just want to be with each other? But sometimes all someone really needs is to be in the company of someone they cherish. Even if they know they'll be hurt or burdened. How do you know that Kagizaka wants to continue having me in her life? She herself was trying to push me away. But isn't isn't that it? Maybe it matters to her so much because she's trying not to hurt someone that she cares about. It hurts the most when you hurt someone that you care about deeply. It's our instinct to try to push them away so that we don't hurt them anymore. But she says isn't always gonna be what she actually feels. It's just like you and me. People tend, tend to not be honest with themselves. I'm not going to pretend like I can understand her, so I can't confirm that. I felt to understand her for as long as I've known her. Isn't that fine? Tell me, do you think you can completely understand me? Well, I think I understand you fairly well, but there are certain things I can't understand, despite my attempts to. See? And that makes me happy. I don't think we'll ever fully understand each other, no matter how hard we try. me happy just knowing that you attempted it. And it makes me happy that you understand the parts that you do understand. Maybe all that girl needs isn't someone that can fully understand her. Maybe it's just someone who tries to. Yokone, you really are a romantic, aren't you? Hey, I just have my fair of ups and downs, a fair share of ups and downs in the relationships. And don't you be calling me romantic when you're the one here going on and finding love this complicated in a span of a few days. I can't help but laugh despite what happened today. It's been a while since I've been able to just sit and chat with Yokone. You really took my advice to go out and meet people, didn't you? To think you get yourself in such a situation just a few days after we talked. That means I can place all the blame on you, right? Since you're the one that told me to get out and meet people. Don't get cheeky with me. This magnitude is larger than going on than just going out and meeting people. But I'm glad that you managed to find someone that you care so much about. What? I like to be Kaguya-zaka sometime. Maybe after all this dies down. She said the same thing, that she liked to meet you. Well, I don't know how this will all turn out. And if we do manage to patch things up between us somewhat, she still has all the problems she needs to deal with. Yeah. Honestly, I don't have an easy answer for you, especially on the Vtuber related hardships. I can't say I have experience with any of that. But that's okay, isn't it? What is? Not knowing the answer? We can't always have the right answer to everything. They might not always have a right answer. But I think that's alright. There's nothing wrong with being a little lost. If you look all around you, we're all lost in our own ways. Even you? You look like you got everything together. Of course, I might look like I got everything together, but I'm also lost in my own way. Is there anything I can help with? Yoko then forms a big smile and starts rubbing my head again. It's just typical adult stuff. Maybe I can tell you more about it later. You just need to focus on yourself and Kaguya-zaka first, though. Alright, I want to try to do something for Kaguya-zaka, but I don't really know what I can provide. I haven't met her, but from what you've been telling me, I think it's enough for you to be there for her. You see that she's tried to take the entire world by herself. Even if you don't have an answer for her, just having someone who can try to understand her might be enough. Are you sure about that? Even someone like me? Especially someone like you? One day you'll realize you're worth Shoma, and I'm sure Kagesaka will have a part in that. Realize my worth, huh? Thanks, Yokone, for today and for everything. Anytime. Yokone reaches for my head again, but I simply move out of the way to dodge her hand. What gives? I don't need my hair any messier. Thank you very much. Come on. You always used to love that when you were a kid. That is completely false. You would put me in a headlock just so you could rub my head because I would try to run away. We both started laughing. I think I should head back. I got a lot of thinking to do, and I'm worried about Kaguya-zaka. Go get him, champ. I'll be around for a few more days for work. If the opportunity presents itself, make sure to introduce me to her and let me know how everything goes. And please, don't hesitate to rely on me again. Thanks. And make sure to give her a hug. I'm sure she needs it. I'll try to remember. After paying for the food, Yoko and I gave me a long embrace before leaving for the hotel that she was staying at. I took a deep breath and then headed back to my apartment. entire time I've been talking to Kaguyazaka, I've been unknowingly pushing my identity of Mana without knowing it was hurting her. She says she doesn't blame people for doing that. Of course, people are going to think of Mana as someone who's strong, happy, and beautiful. That's the identity that she was striving for and showing on stream. But the problem is, Kaguyazaka believes that's just a sign that she shows on stream, but she isn't like that in person. Honestly, she's amazing. Even if Kaguyazaka, to be able to do the things that she requires, does requires her to be a strong person. What is her perception of being strong, even? Nobody's flawless. Is it even right for me to say that she's been being too hard on herself? I only scratch the surface of what she's thinking. Alright, I'm gonna go hydrate. Hold on, hold on. Alright, I'm hydrated, bunny. I don't think I have to completely understand her to know that she shouldn't blame herself for a lot of how she feels. It's like Yokones said, it's inevitable that she'll hurt people, but I don't believe she's hurt people as much as she thinks that she has. Well, I can't say anything specific about her past experiences, but at least to me, she shouldn't be torn up about what she said or about involving me. And what can I even do about the problems she faces as a VTuber? I have no experience with that. No, that's the wrong way to think. I shouldn't just think of her as someone that I need to save. I want to help and be there for her, but I can't just be someone who swoops in and solves all of her problems. Uh, that's that's too much to think about. Let's start with the big picture. What am I thinking? I want to continue being involved in Kaguya-zaka. I still want her in my life. I don't know if the reverse is the same, but I guess I'll have to hear from her after I say what I need to say. But I don't want a relationship where we have to keep skirting around each other about hurting the other. I want both of us to be able to rely on each other, even if we still feel bad about burdening the other. I want us to be able to do it, which isn't going to be a sudden change. Both of us don't feel too good about burdening others. I know there's a lot that I still don't understand about Kaguya-zaka, and I know that I have yet to understand her, but I want to understand. I know it's conceited, but I want to be involved with her, even if it means that she'll have to burden me when I don't even fully understand her. I know we'll struggle. I know we'll misunderstand each other. I know we'll probably always be looking for the right answers, but I want to be involved anyway. Gosh, I actually sounds so conceited when I express it like that. Is it really okay to have a selfish wish like this? Yokone would Yokone would be messing with me if she knew I was thinking like this. Before I make that kind of selfish request, I think I need to come to terms with my own feelings first. Even now, I'm still head over heels for Kaguya-zaka, and I feel guilty about these feelings. Not because of Kaguya-zaka, but as a person, but because they are for the wrong reason. Those feelings came about when I was figured out Kaguya was Mana. All it took, all it took was that the thought of I have a chat with someone who I see as valuable to instantly start being infatuated. Honestly, it could happen, probably happen to any big VTuber. I don't usually have strong feelings towards most people I watch, but it's always a thought in the back of my mind that it's nice if I could be involved with this person. If the chance to become someone special to them suddenly appeared, then I think I would end up being obsessed just because I don't want to get validation from that. It really is an unhealthy mindset, and it happens so easily. So the infatuation didn't come about because of love, but because of my own desire for validation. That shouldn't be how a relationship develops. But I can't say for sure that a part of my feelings wasn't already from what I felt about Kagizaki before finding out. It wasn't an obsession, but a warm comfort. I like being with her. I wanted to know more about her. My feelings are just a jumbled mess right now, and I can't say exactly how I feel. And I can't stop myself from feeling this way either. Even if I know it's for the wrong reason, this heartache doesn't go away. And feeling this way just makes me guiltier. That I shouldn't feel this way, but I do. Maybe that's the curse I have to live for the time being. For being so self-centered. Isn't that a reason I should be distancing myself from her? That I'm only going to naturally gravitate towards her and trying to gain her favor because I'm always going to want her attention? Do I have any right to try and reach out when I know that this relationship will partly be built on my own insecurities? Even before I found out that she's Mana, did I just interact with her mainly because I was lonely? Is this really okay? If I was transparent about everything, and she was okay with it, would that make it okay? Is that just pushing my own expectations and selfish wishes onto her? Is that even possible for me to form a relationship with her without those selfish motives? Is that what I was trying to avoid while I was when I entered college? While I was a, when I was I a hypocrite all along? No, I shouldn't think like that. I have to accept that it's inevitable that I have those thoughts and feelings if I interact with her. The best I can do is to be aware of this inevitability and try not to let it control my actions. I think I'll have to figure it out some more as time passes. Next is Kaguya what she thinks. How could I even help with her depression and mindset? I haven't even gotten over my self hate. I can't just tell her to love herself more. No matter how what I tell her, she isn't just going to suddenly shift her mindset. All I can do is tell her the value she has to me and try to support her. Again, I'm just really self-important by thinking that. But even if I might not offer much, I still want to do what I can. This is all assuming, of course, that she would even want me to continue involving me with her life. I don't blame her. That isn't the case. We can't go back to how we were before. I have no idea what our relationship's gonna be like if we start interacting again. I take a deep breath, following by letting out a big sigh. I don't have all the answers, but I think I know what to do now. I pull up my phone to look at the time. It's almost midnight. I'm worried about Kaguya and I should have put this off. Is she still awake? I pull out my phone and stare at Kaguya-saka's contact. Is it too soon? The longer I wait, the less of a chance there is. I can feel my hands shaking. I take a deep breath and force myself to press the call button. Every consecutive ring goes on for what feels like an eternity. The pressure I feel at this moment is enough to impede my breathing. Just when I feel that I would reach her voicemail, I hear the brief cut of the rating to indicate that the call has been picked up. I can't hear her. Kakayasaka? Why? Her voice is weak, like it could fade away at any moment. Can we meet? I know it's late, and I know you said we wouldn't be involved with each other anymore. There are some things I have to say. If after you hear me out and still want to cut ties, then I'm fine with that. I know it's a selfish request, but please. There's only silence. My heart is beating so fast that I'm sure Kagiyazaka can hear it through the phone. Come to the beach. Oh, okay. Thanks. I hear the call hang up right after I thank her. I immediately collapse on my bed in a sigh of relief. After taking another deep breath, I dash to the bathroom to splash some water on my face and then head out of my apartment. I find myself back at the same spot where I had been earlier today. It hadn't even been a day, but it feels like it's been weeks since I have last met with Kagiyazaka here. I look around to see any signs of her. It's dark, but I'm still able to see that Kagiyazaka isn't here yet. I raise my head to look up at the starry sky. Well, it's too late to be thinking if this is okay. I'm also not confident at all in my ability to get my thoughts across. If it doesn't end up working out, then I guess that's just how it has to be. No, I shouldn't keep thinking negatively. I can't draw any conclusions that I'll think what she thinks. The sky really is beautiful tonight, isn't it? I wonder is that if this is why Kagezaka chose her beach with me to be a starry sky. She did seem to like this spot. Maybe she saw the same sky and decided to become Mana. Or maybe I'm just being romantic because of the sight. Sounds of footsteps interrupt my thoughts. I turn around to see Kageyasaka walking towards me. She looks even worse than before. Hey, thanks for granting me this selfish request of mine. I honestly can't say that what I'm going to say is going to come out coherent or make any sense. You know, I really wish I was a protagonist of some anime or dating sim. Like the ones that know exactly what to say to magically fix everything and change anyone's viewpoint. But I'm only me. I don't have very much answers for you. I can't magically solve your problems. I'm not going to pretend like I can say anything that will convince you to suddenly be happy with yourself and your situation. I can't even to imagine what you've been going through or what you have been through in your life. Even if I spend the rest of my life trying, I might not fully understand. But I want to try, despite the inevitable struggle. I know that sounds conceited, but I want to try. I even try to understand someone like me. Is it because I'm Mana? I would be lying if I said that wasn't a part of it. To be honest, I fell into a complete obsession with you after finding out. It was because of my own desire for validation and self worth. I actually completely hate myself for the fact that it happened. You might be disgusted at that, and I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you if you started thinking that I'm only interacting with you because you're this super popular VTuber. That's just me. That desire for self worth is just a part of who I am. And I absolutely detest that part of myself. I want to be able to understand that I want to be with you for you and not to feel like I'm worth something just because I'm someone who's valued. Looking at myself, I can't say that. And I know that asking you to accept that might be the most selfish request ever. All I can really say is, all I can really say is, I want to keep being with you. I don't want to just be with Mana or Kaguya-saka. I want to be with you who's both Mana and Kaguya-saka. What are you saying? I already said that I only interacted with you for my own personal gain. That could be very well the case, but I think that's okay. It's not like I had great intentions either. I think one of the main reasons I kept interacting with you was because I was so lonely. I desperately wanted someone that I could feel like I could connect with. I really did enjoy my time with you, and I admired you, but how much of these feelings can I say are out of desperation? I know that doesn't sound reassuring, but I don't know myself well enough to fully understand these feelings. I can really only say that despite all this uncertainty, I still want to be with you. You have already seen what kind of person I am. All I do is hurt people. You'll just end up being hurt. How are you even gonna put up with someone like me? I think that goes both ways. There's no way that we won't end up hurting each other at times, even if we don't mean it. It'll probably be painful at times, but I still want us to be involved with each other anyway. I don't even know if this will be the case, but I want to believe that the happy times we create will make it all worth it. I don't want to be hurt. And even worse, I don't want to hurt you. But I also feel joy and warmth for being with you. I want a relationship where we can accept that we'll get hurt, where we struggle, feel lost, and likely always be looking for the right answers. But I want us to be able to do that together in a relationship where we burden each other. We probably won't feel good about burdening the other, but I still want us to be able to do that anyway. What are you even saying? That, that won't be an even relationship. I'll just be the one burdening you this entire time. I'm a thoroughly messed up person. I'm weak. I hate myself. I mean, I easily lash out. I always think about myself, my things negatively. I always feel lonely. I'm never satisfied with who I am. I mean, said so myself that there's so much more that you don't understand. How does it make sense to want to be with someone that you don't even understand? Are you are you dumb? I guess I am. I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that you're a wonderful person in many ways, and I'm a pretty messed up person myself. Really not. How can you blame yourself for what you felt? You couldn't help it. Meanwhile, look at me. I only have myself to blame. That isn't true. We could probably go back and forth at all night this rate. Clear my phone and take a deep breath. Though I may not offer much, an unreliable, selfish person I may be, please allow me to be involved in your life. How do I know that you won't just leave me once you get over your infatuation and realize what kind of person I am? I mean, look at me. Just the fact that I'm saying so is terrible. No, That's okay. The only thing I can really do to alleviate that doubt is tell you that I want to be with you, in- including all of the good and the bad. I want to be able to guarantee that I won't just change my mind because of all this infatuation. The truth is, I don't fully understand myself. I can really only ask you to trust me. What kind of relationship is that? You're just okay with me doubting you? I'm sure you have your own doubts about me. You're you're just okay with us doubting each other? Yes. What? I don't think we can avoid that doubt. The only way we would be able to come to a full understanding of each other. I don't think that's possible. But I want us to be involved anyway. I'm a weak, ugly, and broken person. You okay with that? Yes. You're gonna end up being getting hurt by being involved in me. You okay with that? Yes. You're going to end up being burdened with all my baggage. You're going to end up being burdened. You okay with that? Yes. And you're willing to do all that despite knowing that you don't fully understand me. Yes. Hakurizaka stares at me for a few seconds, and she starts walking towards me. She stops once she is in front of me, looking directly into my eyes. My social anxiety is telling me to look away, but another part of me is telling me that if I look away now, my resolve would have been for nothing. Would you be willing to accept me even after knowing everything about me? There's a firm determination in Kagizaka's eyes that I haven't seen before. She knows that she's asking an unreasonable, selfish question, but I can tell how important this question is to her. Yes. Kagizaka's expression calms and she stares at me for a few seconds. Then I see her break a smile. You really are dumb, aren't you? You were right. None of what you said just makes any sense. Do you secretly want to get hurt? A sense of relief washes over me to see a glimpse of Kaguya's old self return. I guess I am. That's what you'll be signing up for. But there are a lot more worse things you could be. You could be a guy who just voluntarily signed up to be involved in me. Boy, do I have news for you. We both managed to laugh, albeit weakly. It's well past midnight at this point. The events of today lately has Kaguyazaka just as tired as I am. I guess I have no choice but to accept your request when you put it that way. But before I can feel like we can move forward, I need you to listen to my selfish request. Can you come over to my place tomorrow and listen to what I have to say? I'll tell you. My mindset leading up to becoming a VTuber and all my experiences as Mana up until now, you said you would be willing to accept me even after knowing everything about me. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you everything. Is she actually going to tell me everything? Please tell me. Thanks. It's probably going to take a while, and it's not exactly a pleasant topic, but I decided to trust you. I don't feel like I can move forward with you involving you without you knowing. I understand. Thanks for putting your trust in me. I'll message you tomorrow to come over once I'm ready. With that, I'm going to head back now. I'm absolutely exhausted, more so than I usually am. Let me walk you home. It's pretty late. Oh, being a gentleman, are we? It's not that far. I'll be fine. I got here just fine, didn't I? I didn't take that into account when I asked her to walk her here. I really don't want to be pushy about it if she doesn't want to. But it also doesn't feel right to just leave her to walk home by herself. Kagezaka watches as I quietly contemplate to myself. You know what? I'll take up on your offer. Shoot, I must have been showing how conflicted I was, but I guess it works out. Thanks. Shouldn't I be the one thanking you? Or maybe you just want to walk with me because you're scared. Sure, let's go with that. Protect me, please, oh great Kageyazaka. You can come in Makoto. Eh, call me Shoma as well, Makoto. An awkward silence envelopes the air. Okay, enough of that. Let's go. Makoto quickly starts walking away in her embarrassment, leaving me to catching up to her. Oh, wait! I follow behind Makoto as she quietly walks through the dimly lit streets. The air is tranquil, with our footsteps being the only sounds that can be heard in the stillness of the night. I'm unsure as what to say to her. Would it be insensitive to ask about Mana right now? I guess I could ask her some basic questions. Makoto? Makoto continues to walk, but I can visibly see her posture shift a little. I guess she isn't used to me calling her by a given name. Yeah? So, you want to hear my bottom? That's still you making that voice, right? It's just a bit hard to believe because it's so different. Makoto is visibly surprised for a moment before smiling. She clears her throat and adjusts her posture. What are you talking about? Don't I sound the same as always? The voice that leaves Makoto's mouth is distinctly Mana's, down to the exact pitch and way of speaking. The voice isn't too loud, likely has a precaution of being outside, but it's clear enough that I wouldn't ever mistake it. Huh? How do you do that? What do you mean? I'm the same old Makoto. Okay, now I'm just weirded out. Don't be weirded out. Just think of this voice when you think of me. Ah! Makoto breaks out in laughter at my visible angerish. Okay, okay, I'll stop. I'm glad we're able to go back to joking around like this, despite the events of the past 2 days. I can tell we're still both a bit shaken, but we're trying our best to move forward. Doesn't it get tiring having to change your voice like that? Yeah, I'm used to it, so not really. I see. Being able to change your voice like that is really impressive. Is it? You might be able to do it yourself if you tried. Yeah, I don't think you want to hear my pitched up voice. Maybe you're right. Forget I said anything then. Makoto smiles and turns to continue walking. There are so many other things I want and ask and I'm wondering about. Maybe I can wait until after Makoto tells me anything tomorrow. Hey, Shoshoma. Now it's my turn to feel uncomfortable. It's going to take a bit to get used to her calling me by a given name. I can't say I'm not happy about it though. Yeah? Thanks for today. Thanks for today. And for everything. I'm glad things turned out the way they did. Yeah, me too. Well, I guess it could have been a little less bumpy along the way. Yeah, that's for sure. I want to thank you too. I've been running away from my problems for a while now. But I think you've given me something worth all the hardships. Oh, I must be worth a lot to you then. You still have a lot more to go though. It's not too late to go back to the easier route. It's definitely an easier route, but I don't think I was ever content with how I was. Not because of VTubers themselves. I do get a certain fulfillment from watching them. They provided a happiness and hope that I can't even begin to describe. Being able to share special experiences with them is something beautiful on its own. But I was just using the substitute for what I truly wanted. What I formed with you and what I ended up forming with Mono are two different things. I wouldn't want to give up either. Or I have some good news for you. Both of them the same person, so you get a two for one deal. Dang, really? I must have hit the jackpot then. But if I'm being serious, I'm really glad to hear you saying that. I don't think I would have wanted to give up with you as Makoto Amana either. Okay, enough with the embarrassing lines. We're almost there. We wrap in the front of Makoto's house. She turns to me. I think I'm going to collapse as soon as I'm inside. I'm pretty sure I aged a few years today. Same here. I can't remember the last time I felt this tired. I kind of feel bad that I made you walk all the way here with me. No, don't feel that way. I was the one that wanted to do this. Don't worry. I have enough in me. Don't worry. I have enough in me to make it back. Good night. Wait, you want to stay over for the night? Not for any weird reasons. Just so you don't have to walk back so late. Eh? Can you repeat that? I didn't think. I don't think I heard it correctly. No, I'm not saying it again. You heard what I said. No, I shouldn't. I'll just head back. No, really, it's fine. It's already so late. If you're worried about me, I'm completely fine with it. So just do what's best for you and what you want. Well, well, of course I want to, but I probably shouldn't. Stop making it weird. It just makes more sense to stay here instead of making you walk back all the way back but when it's so late. And I have a futon you can sleep in one of the other rooms. Yeah, you're right. It makes the most logical sense. Indeed. You are very correct. Let's go with that. Thanks. Dang it, she looks unamused. Calm down, me. We'll be sleeping in separate rooms. It's not like the thought occurred to me that it might have been in the same room. Alright. Stop. Deep breath. You really can't blame me. I'm so head over heels for her, and she just invited me to stay overnight at her place. My heart feels like it's about to explode right now. Maybe I should have just refused. There's no way that this is good for my heart. No. I want to beat myself over it. I want to beat myself over it if I hadn't taken this opportunity. Maybe that would have been worse. So, you're gonna have to keep having your internal battle, or are you gonna come in? Oh, sorry, I'll come in. I'll come in now. Lead the way. Makoto leads me to what seems to be a storage room, containing only a sparse number of boxes. Here, I'll get a futon to roll out. Okay. Makoto leaves the room, leaving me to continue processing what's happening. Calm down, me. Nothing's going to happen. I'm just staying here in this room by myself for the night because it's late out. Wait, will I even be able to go to sleep in this situation? Or I'll probably, eh, I'll probably just collapse right away. I'm so tired. I don't think it'll take too long for this adrenaline to run out. Makoto re-enters the room with a rolled-up futon, blanket, and pillow in her arms. She hands me the pillow and blanket and rolls out the futon across the floor. Drops down the hall. Okay, I'm going to go and collapse onto the comfort of my bed. Good night. Oh, good night. Makoto glances at me and says instead of leaving. Don't tell me you were expecting anything to happen. Well, of course not. Maybe you were the one who was expecting something. Regardless of if I wanted something to happen, I'm pretty sure I'm too tired for anything. I need my sleep. Yeah, me too. Good night. Sleep tight. Makoto walks out of the room and down to her own room. Makoto walks out of the room and down the hall to her own room. I immediately collapse on the futon and spread out my body. 2 nights in a row of staying up this late can't be good for my well-being. It probably doesn't help that I'm in an unfamiliar place. I release a big sigh after taking a deep breath. It really has been an eventful 2 days, hasn't it? Thinking back on it, I did say some really embarrassing things. I recall the exact lines that I said at the beach. I immediately covered my face and started rolling around. Did I really say those things? I mean, I'm kind of glad I did, since it ended up working out. But it's so embarrassing. Wait, how would a Makoto have interrupted it? Was I basically confessing my love to her? I mean, I do have those feelings, but I need some more time to understand them. When I said those things today, I wasn't necessarily meaning it in a romantic way, but I did mention that I became obsessed with her. Isn't that just pretty much giving it away? It would have been weird to ask what she's thinking about me, what she thinks about me, or what she considers me to be. Maybe I'm the weird one thinking too hard about these feelings. I can start to feel my thoughts trail off as my exhaustion starts to settle in. Whatever. This will be a problem for next morning, Shoma. I close my eyes and slowly feel my consciousness fade away. The light of a new day shines brightly through the windows and pulls me out of my slumber. I feel a sudden sense of panic as soon as I open my eyes in response to the sight of an unfamiliar room. It takes me a second to recall the events of the previous night. Oh yeah, I'm at Makoto's place. It still feels like a dream. Everything that's happened. My body does not feel the greatest, that's for sure. What time is it? I pull out my phone to see that it's already past noon. I guess we did get back pretty late. I want them Makoto's away. I stretch out my arms before picking up and heading out of the room. I take a glance inside Makoto's room. After door's open. Looks like she's already awake. She's probably downstairs. I guess I'll wash her before heading down. I'm greeted by the sight of Makoko sitting on one of the sofas, looking at her phone. She looks up when she notices me walking closer. Oh, you're awake. Sorry, have you been up for a while? Nah, I've only been awake for about 30 minutes. Not enough time for me to wash and draw on your face while you were asleep. Oh, unfortunate. Maybe you should have set an alarm. Is my sleep worth an amusement? I guess it's another one of life's many difficult decisions. Sure it is. So, what's the plan for today? Weren't you going to tell me about everything when I woke up? How about, how about we go eat first? Also, kind of want some time to mentally prepare as well. How about this? We can go eat, and then I'll head back to my place so I can have the chance to take a shower and change clothes. Then I can head back here. Alright, sounds like a plan. The photo sits across from me, her mouth full of pancakes. She eats with me with the same nonchalance as she had when I ate with her in the city. She looks at me after she swallows her current bite. You must have a lot of questions, don't you? Yeah, a ton. But I figured a lot of them might be answered later today. And I didn't think it would be good to bring it up in a public setting. I see. How thoughtful of you. That's true. We could probably wait until later tonight. You really did say some embarrassing things yesterday, did you? I almost started choking on my food. I started gulping some water to clear my throat. You're going to hold that over my head, aren't you? Don't pretend like you didn't get caught up with the mood yourself. Ah, yes, the beautiful starry sky, the beach. Arguing about what wanting me in your life. Excuse me? I almost started choking on my food again. Okay, I'll stop now. Yes, please spare me. there are so many things that we have to address. Wait, isn't the anniversary stream in 3 days? Should I even bring that up? I'm sure Makoto knows. But still, hey, is this really okay? Us being here and chatting? I feel like there are so many things we have to address. And your anniversary stream is coming up. And, I was feeling the exact same way, but for a different reason. The anniversary stream is in 3 days, isn't it? It's true that there's a ton of stuff to be done for that. And I'm still feeling a ton of anxiety about it. But it'll work out, I think. Before I can commit myself to that, I need to be able to get past this mental and emotional wall before me. I can't move forward with you without telling you what I need to tell you. And moments like these aren't bad. They may be fleeting, but it really lets me take a moment to appreciate things. Yeah, you're right. I guess we don't always have to be trying to tackle some problems. You said you were feeling the same way for a different reason, right? What's the reason? Moments of fleeting happiness like these made me question if it was really okay to feel this way. As for the reason, let's save it for tonight. I have a feeling I know what she's getting at, but I don't want to push it. She's right. We can wait until tonight and enjoy the current moment of peace. Alright. Oh yeah, I do remember mentioning that you wish for people to achieve true happiness in one of your talks. Oh yeah, I did mention that on my stream a few days ago, didn't it? Didn't I? What exactly do you mean by true happiness? Well, it's not really something that's clearly defined. It's just that when some people define happiness, they think of it as a state where there's a lack of status or pain. Or they think of it as merely being satisfied with a neutral state. I guess it all depends on the person, but I want to truly say that I'm a happy person. Where I can smile and laugh without voicing it and not have to worry about everything else. I see. Would you consider this moment to be true happiness? You mentioned I just want the moment of happiness. That's the thing. It's only in thermal. I still wouldn't consider myself a happy person though. It's all really vague, isn't it? Obviously, I can't expect to always be happy. And maybe that true happiness isn't built on moments like these. But even right now, I feel like I'm just running away from sadness and pain. So would you consider it to be a state where there is a lack of sadness and pain? Or I know it's impossible to be completely free of these things. Maybe it's a state where there isn't much of it. Or maybe it's a state where I'm able to consider myself a happy person in spite of these things. Isn't that too idealistic? Not at all. Is that a state where that a lot of people are in? Well, I don't know if you could ever tell for sure. They might be just showing their happiness outwardly while they internalize their pain. That's true. So after we finish up the scene where Makoto opens up about being a VTuber, we're going to be getting ready to raid. It is getting late over here where I am at right now. It's currently almost yeah, it's almost midnight over here. Yeah, it's midnight over here. So yeah, after we go to the scene where Makoto opens up about being a VTuber, I think that's gonna be pretty much it for today because yeah, right now looking at the time, it's gonna be 1 a.m. in about 30 minutes. So people inevitably go through both moments of happiness and pain. So you're talking about a state where people can focus on happiness and not feel that they're running from the pain or sadness. Yeah, I think that's right. It would be nice if everyone could achieve that. You did that wish for all of your viewers. I'm sure that you were able to reach people with that. I for sure appreciated when you heard it. When I heard it. Thanks. But it goes both ways, doesn't it? I'm sure everybody else wishes that for you as well. You're always looking out for us. And you might know this already, but I want you to know that we wish the best for you as well. Thanks. I mean it. I don't think I'm deserving of it, but it makes me happy hearing it. Come on. No one thinks you're undeserving of that. Hey, finishing your food? Oh, I am. You want to pay and get going? Yeah, let's go. After you pay for the food, we agreed to meet at her place in around 2 hours. After saying goodbye to Makoto, I headed home to take a shower and change clothes. So yeah, after around this scene, it is gonna be pretty much it for today on my end because it is getting late. So currently, right now, it is midnight over here. So right now over here, it's gonna be midnight. So we're gonna have a part two of where we finish up this game, and then that's gonna be pretty much it. But yeah, we'll have a part two. So no worries. We're gonna have a part two. We're gonna have a part two of this game. So no worries. We're gonna have a part two. I find myself once again at the gate to Makoto's house. It's a familiar sight at this point, but there's a different air to this visit. There's a heaviness in my chest as I look to the window to Makoto's room. Makoto said she would be telling me everything, but I'm not exactly sure how I should be feeling. Maybe I'm stupid for feeling this way. Makoto had to fight a resolve much stronger than me to decide to tell me anything. While I'm here feeling like I'm not even sure if I'm ready to hear anything. Well, here goes. I take a deep breath and press the doorbell to Makoto's house. After about 30 seconds, Makoto comes out the front door. Hey, come in. Let's head to my room. I only nod as I notice her uneasiness. Makoto's room is a familiar sight, but nothing significantly different from the last time I've been here. She takes a seat at her bed, leaving me to sit on the chair she uses at her desk. Makoto doesn't say anything, but I can tell she's breathing heavily. She opens her mouth to say something, but nothing comes out. I notice that she's visibly shaking. Hey, you don't have to force yourself. No, I need to do this. Sorry, just give me a second. Makoto takes a deep breath. So after this, we're going to be ending the stream for today. I'll be releasing the schedule tomorrow. So on Monday, I'm going to be releasing the schedule for this week. Yeah, tomorrow. I'll be releasing the schedule. And then that'll be pretty much it. Can I ask you to hear me out completely before saying anything or asking any questions? Okay, thanks. And where do I even start? Like I mentioned before, I always hated myself even before becoming a VTuber. I've always been the type of person to hurt people because of how I am. I'm not good at expressing my feelings, so I lead people to think that I don't even care about them or think that I might not like them, even if that's not true. I always admire who can wear their heart on their sleeve and effortlessly build a positive connection with others, whereas someone like me will give others the wrong idea. But actually, is it even the wrong idea? I wouldn't consider myself a nice person. It's easy for me to fall into the trap of condemning people for taking actions I perceive as wrong or ignorant. I don't want to think like that. I want to be able to accept people and believe in their capacity for good. But it's not uncommon for me to just straight up tell someone off and I think they're wrong about something important. If I was a better person, I would say it differently. Or maybe I wouldn't say anything at all. But I'm not that kind of person. I hurt a lot of people by doing that. I don't think my family situation helped my mindset at a young age either. My parents divorced when I was in middle school. I saw a lot of bad fights prior to that. And they weren't that uncommon after the fact since I was going back and forth between them for a while. It wasn't hard to think I was at fault for the situation being an only child. I wouldn't say that I have the best relationship with either one of them. I'm not saying I hate them. I still love them both and only wish the best of them, but I have my differences with both of them. They're both strong minded and they differ from each other in what they want out of my life, which is one of the reasons why they fought. Maybe I could have prevented it if I had been more self aware back then. All I knew was that I desperately wanted to keep both of them, so I tried my best to listen to them. But my efforts being ended up being for nothing. They divorced anyway. For a while, I still try to cater towards both of their demands, even if they differ from what I wanted to do. After some point, I just had enough. I don't even know what's best for myself, but I knew what my parents wanted for me wasn't what I was looking for. It wasn't uncommon for me to get into fights with my parents in high school. You can probably see why I'm living here alone, don't you? I'm an awful daughter, aren't I? I'm willing to break my family's hearts for my own sake. That's something I will essentially avoid no matter what. But I'm a selfish person. Despite all the selfishness I've shown, my parents never abandoned me. They continued to reach out and care for me in their own ways. Why do they continue to keep a daughter like me around? All I do is pray with them when I see them. All the times I think of myself, what if I was never in the picture in the first place? Maybe I found happiness instead. I knew I wanted to change something, but it's not like I can just suddenly become a better person all of a sudden. That's when I was exposed to VTubers when they started taking off in popularity. At first, I didn't know why there were so many people that started watching these VTubers. But as I started watching them myself, I understood. I saw these amazing people able to bring happiness and inspiration to so many people. Just by expressing a part of themselves, they were able to form such a unique, profound connection with their viewers. I knew this was something I wanted to try. The idea that I could reinvent myself and try to become the person I wanted to be and share the things I love just appealed to me. And it's not even a year, but I get nostalgic thinking back on my beginnings as Mana. Before I even had the idea of Mana, I did a ton of research and brushed up on my skills. I applied to a bunch of agencies and got rejected at every single one. Eventually, the idea of Mana came to me one night, and I decided to try to make it as an indie VTuber. I wanted to ultimately be responsible for my own success as a VTuber. I spent a lot of resources and time and resources coming up with the design of Mana and having it created. Eventually, I debuted. I don't think that there'd be more than 5 viewers at any point, a given point of the stream, but I was still so happy. I think starting out, I was just happy that anyone would come to watch. I'd I would recognize a few people that stopped by and feel bad if they stop showing up. If I found them on another stream instead, then that would hurt me even more. But still, it was nice. I felt like I was starting a new life almost. Every stream was tough, and there were a ton of things I didn't know about. I was working tirelessly every day, balancing school and improving myself for streams that only a few people would see. But it was fun. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was choosing what I wanted to be and expressing the stuff I wanted to show. There was a friend that I made not soon after I debuted. She was another VTuber that debuted around the same time I did. Given that we were both in the same situation, clicking immediately, take time. It didn't take long for us to become close. She's the type of person that wear her heart on her sleeve. She was energetic, kind, positive, and unbelievably hard worker. In a lot of ways, I looked up to her. I was so blessed to have a person like her in my life. Honestly, a big reason why I think back fondly on the times I was starting out, despite all the hardships, was because of her. We would collab a lot, sometimes doing some really dumb things like singing meme songs. Other times we would share the joy of beating a really difficult day together. We laughed a lot, struggled together, complained to each other about things, talked about mundane topics, discussed life. For granted, not realizing how fleeting these kind of moments can be. We both worked hard every day, and she was more talented than me in a lot of ways. If I was a viewer, I wouldn't even think about watching my stream over hers. For some reason, I started growing quickly in viewership while she didn't. At first, it wasn't really an issue. Why would it be? One of us is growing, and we should be happy about that, shouldn't we? While I continued to grow, I didn't know why more people were coming to watch me. I still don't know. My friend continued to support me like she's always done, as positive as bright as the sun. But I started feeling guilty. Starting out, we'd always talk about how we wanted to grow and reach as many people as possible. Why was I the one who was growing and not her? She was so much better than me in every other way. She still continued to treat me with the same kindness that she's always had as I continued to grow. She never complained and she never said anything negative about it. But I knew that deep down it must have been affecting her. conversations about viewership or growth became awkward. I noticed that she started working twice as hard, planning big events, streaming more often, trying to put out more content and be more engaged. But none of her efforts were ever rewarded. It hurts. It hurts so much to see her barely grow despite all the effort she put in. I started becoming hyper fixated on viewership numbers, even though I knew I shouldn't. At first, I was trying my best to improve and promote her on my own stream. I ended up making things worse. After a certain point, it seemed like I was desperate enough to try to promote her. She ended up getting backlash that she was just trying to piggyback off my own popularity. And a part of why I was doing it was out of pity. I wanted to try and help her, but I actually think about how she felt. Would you really feel fulfilled if someone just telling you booze because they felt bad for you? The worst part of it all is that she never condemned me for anything. She still wanted to continue being my friend. She was precious to me, and I didn't ever want to give up the friendship we had. But how could I just keep going, knowing that I was just hurting her by existing? Every day I would feel more and more guilty for her. Why was it me and not her? It's so conceited and self-important to think that my growth would cause her to hurt, but I could tell it affected her. If I was in her position, I would feel jealousy, even though I knew that she was much more amazing than I am. I don't blame her if she started hating me. It would hurt so much to see her smile and be kind to me. I would hurt her regardless of my actions on or off stream. It was my existence that was the problem. I started to keep my distance, even though I loved her more than anything. Maybe it was because I loved her that it felt like it would be better if she didn't have to see me. Eventually, we drifted apart. Every time I see any of her content, I feel an overwhelming sense of guilt. Maybe it's just because I punish my own selfishness. I'm sure she hates me. I'm someone who always relied on her and burdened her with my own troubles. She would always be there for me, supporting me. And what did I end up doing for her in return? I only ended up hurting her. I know you probably have wondered why I don't collab with other VTubers this Mana. I brought it up on stream a couple times as well. I always give a vague answer on stream, but if you're always wondering what the real reason was, it was because of this. I didn't want to go through the situation again where I ended up hurting the same person. It was also because as I started to get bigger, I would get approached more often and I didn't know what people's intentions were. It's not a terrible mindset, but am I automatically assume that these people might just want to be interacting with me to try and climb socially? Is it enough to just try to make friends? But I couldn't even think like that after what happened. That's just one of the many things that I wasn't ready for after I started getting popularity. The responsibilities I had started getting more frequent and more significant. Suddenly, I was having to present myself in front of hundreds and eventually thousands of people. My chat went from cozy and could recognize everyone to an amalgamation of names that I couldn't put a personality to. I could no longer keep up with trying to satisfy everyone. It was impossible for me to read every single message and address every single problem. As I got bigger, negative impressions of me became more common. I used to always check out people's impressions of me on social media, but I stopped. People started DMing me more frequently, many times with the intention to try to get closer to me for shallow or dubious reasons. Sometimes I would even get straight confessions from people I never met. I didn't know how to respond to that. I started having to really watch what I say, both on stream and on social media. Anything even slightly negative or controversial to be spun into something that would cause backlash. Exceptions grew as my popularity rose. Suddenly, I was juggling multiple different commitments and projects. I started struggling to meet deadlines. So poured, so I poured all the time I had to try and meet what was expected of me. I stopped having time to enjoy my passions in my own time on playing video games. This was on top of attending classes. At some point, my mom got hospitalized for a short while. It wasn't for anything life threatening, but it still cost me a lot of grief in the time when I was already feeling overwhelmed. I guess God really wanted to punish me, and I really was not okay during that time. I had no idea life could be like that. I wasn't ready for any of it, not mentally, physically, or emotionally. Vtuber was originally a way to escape the pains of the original world, but it ended up adding onto what was already weighing me down. But it didn't only hurt me, but otherwise I wouldn't have kept doing it. A big part of what kept me going was the joy I felt when I could just be myself on stream and connect with my community. I continued to chase after that despite all the hardships that came with it. It was the only hope I saw in a world devoid of hope. That joy also led to me wanting to work to become that hope for others. Any one of my viewers could also be someone going through a difficult time. If I could be that person that they're able to find a piece of comfort in despite their circumstances, then that would mean my life had purpose. So I kept smiling on stream. I kept trying to be that bright, positive person I strive to be. Eventually, that's the idea that the identity that Mana became known as. Must have done a good job then, and I think most people could tell me that I'm can be happy and satisfied about that. But that's all I could do. Keep that image up only on stream. Off stream, I was absolutely miserable. I didn't smile. I wasn't positive. I never would say anything that I was a happy person. There were so many times where I felt so tired of everything. I find myself unable to pull myself out of bed, despite the enormous amount of work that still had to be done. This all ended up accumulating in what's been leading up to my anniversary stream. I was desperate to find an answer, but I think I knew the real answer all along. I'm just getting what I deserve. It's like punishment for being so selfish and continuously hurting others. It's like punishment for lying and deceiving everybody. I can never truly be the strong, kind, and happy person that I want to be. Instead, all I do is hurt others by existing. I Makoto's voice low, weak as she looks away. All I do is hurt people, and the only value I bring is spelled on a bed of lies. Maybe it would have been better if I had never existed. What? If I'd never been born, my parents wouldn't have fought over me and divorced. If I had never been there to stop VTubing, my friend would have never gotten hurt. If I hadn't selfishly if I hadn't selfishly gotten you involved, you wouldn't have been burdened with such a selfish, worthless person. Everybody has every right to hate me. Why? Why does no one express their hate for me? Why does everybody keep showing me their kindness? You, my parents, my friend, my viewers. Why do you all keep showing me such kindness? If you all just hated me like I deserved, I could disappear from the world in peace. Tears start forming from Makoto's eyes. I'm unable to sit still anymore. Without thinking that if it's the right thing, I pull Makoto into a tight embrace. Please, please don't say that. You're not someone who deserves to be hated. Please, don't blame yourself for those things. not knowing if it's the right thing to do. My own eyes start to form tears. Of course you deserve to be happy. I refuse to believe that there isn't happiness for you in this world. Every greater power is preventing you from attaining that, then I'll fight with you. I'll help you find the happiness you deserve. But please don't say that you want to disappear. I don't want that. I want you here. I don't know how else to put it. Is it really okay? I only mess things up. I just keep hurting people. I can feel Makoto's arms tighten around my neck. Is this wrong? If this is wrong, then I want it to be wrong. If it's wrong for you to achieve happiness, then let's be wrong together. Please don't try to shoulder this burden by yourself anymore. You've already been through so much. It must have been so hard. But you're not alone. Even if it's just a little bit, please, let me share some of that burden with you right now. Shoma! The last of Makoto's restraint breaks, and the sound of her sobbing fills my ears. I'm unable to hold back my own tears as I hold Makoto even tighter. I don't know if I said the right things. I don't know how we should approach the future. All I know is that right now and going forward, I want to be here for Makoto. I don't ever want her to ever have to shoulder so many burdens alone. Even if this is the only thing I can do in my power for her, I want to be there for her. I pick up the waistband in Makoto's room. I put it in front of her as she wipes her face with tissues. I take a seat next to her as she finishes blowing her nose into the tissue and throwing it in the waistbin. How are you feeling? No idea, but better, I think. It feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. This is the first time I've told anybody about all of this. Well, if there's anything else that comes up that you feel like you want to let out, then please rely on me. Thanks. We both sit silently for a bit, simply appreciating the company of each other. Sorry about your shirt. I looked down to notice that my shirt is still wet from the mess that Makoto had made. Or don't worry about it. So what will you be doing moving forward? I'll choose to trust you. I want you to walk on this path with me. After all, you did tell me that you'll help me find my happiness. Hearing that makes it sound really embarrassing. But I did, and I wouldn't have any other way. I don't think it would be easy to change my mindset. There are still some things that I hate about myself, and I don't see myself suddenly becoming a strong person anytime soon. But I think I found some inspiration in you to find the shit that I'm looking for. Huh? Me? I wouldn't particularly call myself a strong person. The strength you show me isn't a strength of weakness. The strength that is defined by lack of weakness. It's a strength to embrace your weaknesses and be able to walk forward by accepting them. I think you've recently come to accept your natural tendencies to think of bad thoughts as weaknesses. And you've been able to walk forward with what you want by accepting that they're an inevitable part of you. Oh, I would honestly say that isn't my own strength that's allowing me to do that. My sisters actually helped me a lot. Maybe strength isn't defined by just an individual. The ability to form close bonds is also a part of what makes you you. In that sense, your bond with your sister is a part of your own strength. Maybe you're right about that. In that case, I'd like for us to become part of each other's strengths. So I probably won't add much to you. Hey, I think I might actually decrease your strengths if you include me. But sure, let's do it. We both start laughing a bit weakly. I'm glad they were able to laugh like this despite the heaviness that was in the air earlier. Makoto wipes the tears from her eyes once again. This time it seems like they stopped. Regarding the struggles I talked about relating to being a VTuber, I don't think that they'll ever get easier. There will always be commitments, expectations, and situations that I have to overcome as a VTuber. But I think now that I have at least one person that understands me, I'll be okay. If there's anything that I can do to help in terms of the workload, hmm. Do you have any experience with video editing, VTubing, software, or streaming? Not really. But I don't think you can really help with my singing. I wouldn't want you touching anything related to my commissions. Same thing with interfacing with vendors for merchandise. Well, I'm sure there's grunt work I can have you do. I guess that's better than nothing. What about what you think of Mana? Of course, I don't blame people for pushing the current identity of Mana onto me. In the end, it's my own fault that I feel guilty about lying to people. I put on the appearance of someone who I wish to be when I'm nowhere close to reaching that point. I never intend to trick people by masking my true self. I put on this appearance of a greater version of myself in hopes that I can one day become that person by internalizing that behavior. But maybe I'm just deceiving myself, along with everybody else. It doesn't feel right to call what you're doing disingenuous or dishonest. Nobody can naturally be the best version of themselves. There's nothing wrong with trying to change how we naturally behave so that we can become a better person. Can you really can you really call that deceit? Isn't that still being emotionally honest? I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing is right. I don't think I should be hiding my true self, but at the same time, my true self is not something I want to tell to people. Is there anything wrong with hiding a part of yourself? Sure, it can be done in deceitful and manipulative ways, but isn't hiding parts of ourselves that we don't want to show to something we all do? And is it wrong to show a different side of yourself if that's what you wish to be? We're all works in progress, sis. Maybe some people out there have figured it out. I don't know. I don't know if it's even possible to reach a point of completion as a person. But I don't think it's a bad thing to constantly be in a state of transformation or improvement. Can what you said even be considering hiding your true self? To me, what you're showing is also, in a way, your true self. Not everything will reflect how you naturally are. It's a person's self only defined by the natural tendencies. Isn't who they aspire to be a part of who they are? I I'm still struggling with this myself. When I found out you were Mana, I couldn't stop myself from thinking about my own self satisfaction and validation. These are my natural thoughts. That's who I am, and I hated myself for it. But I also was someone who wanted to overcome that and be a better person. I still have those negative, selfish feelings, and I probably haven't fully come to terms with them. It's like you said earlier, I'm trying to come to terms with my own natural tendencies and find the strength to move forward by accepting them. In that way, I'm also trying to be the self I aspire to be, despite how I think naturally. Wouldn't you still consider that to be my true self? I would. Is it any different for you? I'm going to have to think about it some more. My head is all over the place right now. Same here. Sorry if what I said didn't make any sense. No, I understand what you're saying, I think. It's just that I need myself that I need to understand. And I think that's going to take a bit more time. Maybe once I do, I can decide how I want to proceed as Mana. It's definitely not going to be straightforward, though. It's not as simple as saying, hey, look at me. I'm this depressed, broken person. But I'm trying to improve by becoming this better person. Hoping you can accept me. That might not be something that should be shared with people. I don't want people to worry about me. And that's not who I want to be known as. I don't want to be someone who's defined by weaknesses or struggles. I don't want to be known as that person who's struggling or is depressed. I want to be known as the person who was and is able to overcome those struggles. It's not as simple as just be yourself, is it? It kind of reminds me of the first conversation we had when we met. Oh, yeah. Whatever I decide to do, I want that my friends will still accept me. I'm sure they will. That's what we do. You really think so? I see. I have to think about it some more. I don't think it's something I'll figure out and become comfortable with it right away. That's gonna be fine, isn't it? Let's find the right answer together. You're just going to keep saying embarrassing lines, aren't you? Thank you, though. After the relationships I talked about earlier, my friends and the parent I made, and my parents and the friends that I made as a Vtuber, I think my parents, I still want to continue choosing my own path in life. I believe that in time, they'll come to understand what I want for myself. But I want to be a better daughter regardless. I think when this is all over, I'll have a long talk with them. I know they'll come to understand. That's just how family is, right? That's my friend. It's something that I want to do, but I need to think about it more. I'll let you know once I found my answer. I want you to be there with me, of course. I think that's just seems like most immediate problem that has to be addressed. My anniversary trip is only in 3 days. How much is there still left to do? Well, there's some final checks I have to do with the art pieces I commissioned, making sure that everything is set up with correctly with my vendor for merchandise. I have to put together the visual systems to use for the merchandise and the thumbnail for my stream. Okay, well that isn't too bad. I also have to finish the script for my program, prepare the audio and video files I'll be using as well as the other assets, rehearse the songs I'll be singing, pick out the fan letters I'll be showing, choose the clips I'll be putting together as highlights for the year. You said it's only in 3 days? Meaning we only have tomorrow and the next day to work on it? Yeah. You had all this to do and you were spending your last few days with me? Yeah, don't you feel special? Yeah, I feel special, alright. So how are we going to do this? I don't know. We'll just have to get it done, I guess. Can you come over early tomorrow? The last few days has been such a roller coaster, and I guess it hasn't stopped yet. Okay, I'll come over early tomorrow. We should probably call it here for today so that we can get a good rest for tomorrow. I think we've been lacking in sleep for the past 2 days. Agreed. I sat up and immediately noticed my exhaustion from the events of today. I guess it wasn't just emotional exhaustion from that I'm feeling. Makoto stands up and leads me out the door. Makoto walks with me to the gate in front of her house. After I reach the gate, I turn to her. I guess this is it for tonight. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait! Makoto immediately walks up to me and locks me in a warm embrace. Makoto? Hush. Let me have this before you go. After recovering from being caught off guard, I return the hug. My heart is pounding so loudly that I'm sure Makoto can hear it. We stay like this for about 10 seconds until Makoto releases me. Thanks for that, for everything else today. Of course, anytime. Thank you too for everything. Makoto smiles for a few seconds before waving to me and turning to walk back to her house. As I watch as she reaches the door to her house and turns her head to give me one last smile before entering her house. Her smile was unlike the sad ones that she usually gives. This one was of hope for the future. As uncertain as it may be, we'll walk down whatever path it takes us together. All right. right, that is it for today. Thank you so much. All right. So that is it for today, everybody. Thank you guys all so much for coming to today's stream. All right. So tomorrow the schedule is going to be released, but with that being said, thank you guys all so much for coming to today's stream. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's stream. All right. So, I actually want to rate someone that we haven't rated in a long time. And it's Fiona! You're Fiona! I have not I have not rated their channel in such a long time. So, we're gonna go rate them because it's been a long while since I last checked out their channel. But yes, we're going to announce this week's schedule tomorrow. Actually, it's gonna be on Monday. It's going to be on Monday. But yes, Fiona is live! Your Fiona is live! It's been a long while since I've last checked out Fiona's channel, so we're gonna go rate them right now. Alright, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for coming, and I hope you guys all enjoyed today's stream of Vtuber Connect Part 1. Actually, technically this is Part 2 of Vtuber Connect. But yeah, we'll be continuing on more with VTuber Connect later on. But for now, with that being said, thank you guys all so